So many teams just got some bad news for ALGS, and they're going to be packing up and heading back home. Of course, we just had elimination round brackets, winner brackets going on, and which teams clutched up, which teams were sent home. A lot of storylines to go and dive into in today's video. Of course, like and subscribe. Firstly, let's start it off with losers bracket round 1. This is where it all began for the day. Geared Gaming, this was a big story because this is a team from South America that has been doubted quite a bit, especially when you compare them to their predecessor, I guess, BR Demons. This is like the top South American team. These are the guys that have been playing very, very good. Like, if you had to align these teams together, I think you probably would have picked BR Demons to be the better South American team. Well, that was not the case in today. BR Demons got sent home early in loser bracket round 1, and Geared Gaming not only didn't get sent home, they won the freaking round. So really good job for Geared Gaming. Trip Gaming in second, Navi in third, Wonton Dumpling in fourth, Omit, WMNDY, Cloud9, Disguised, Heroes, and then if you didn't see it, LG had barely got by with 1 freaking point. Now, this was crazy and unfortunate as well, because not only was it BR Demons being sent home, it was much more than that. It was Riddle Order, Oxygen, Esports was a shocker, Passion getting sent home, Northeption, TYK, Boogie Borders, MDY, White, Never to Change, BR Demons, and HAO all got sent home, unfortunately. But then you also had some storylines to pick up in this, you know, like Trip Gaming going back to back here in game 1 and game 2, showing some really good, I mean, APAC in general honestly played pretty solid in this one. And then you go over to winners bracket round 1, and it was all about Fnatic, right? And another APAC North domination, because it wasn't just Fnatic, it was Reject Winity as well. Double APAC North teams looking really, really strong in this. Dark Zero, of course, in your top 4. So you had a little bit of a different scenario. So this being winners bracket, this sent people down to the losers bracket, not getting sent home. So Dark Zero in 4th, you had Serenity in 3rd, you had 2 Rats 1 Controller in 5th, Liquid Alienware in 6th, Aurora in 7th, Not Moist in 8th, Virtus Pro in 9th, and then if you didn't see the ending, 07 got into the 10th place position by a tiebreaker in the very last game. I mean, it was unbelievable. Game 6 going into this, 07 with a win and also 8 kills, literally just enough to get by and actually push themselves and push their ticket into the final round. So Elevate, of course, would get sent down to the losers bracket. Alliance got sent down to the losers bracket. Made in Heaven, SSG, Red Rams, Legends Gaming, TSM, a really strong. I mean, this is not the TSM we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing TSM that's dominant, TSM that wins. And honestly, a lot of people have been pointing out as well, TSM is not normally a group play or bracket play team. They scoop by and then they show up on match points. So look for TSM later on in the video. And then, of course, we've got to talk more about TSM in just a bit. Crazy Raccoon in 18th place here. Sadly, they got pushed down to the losers bracket as well. Complexity and Furia also pushed down to the losers bracket. Then we go into that losers bracket specifically, and you had the following: Elevate Gaming starting it off in 1st place. Really good performance out of them. They had their fair share of wins today as well. Of course, you had game 2 they were able to win, and then game 3 they got 2nd place. And then honestly, I got to give it to Cloud9. Cloud9 is a team that really kind of shocked me this one. Game 4 you had them in 1st place. Game 6 you had them winning again. Cloud9 just kind of went lights out mode today. This is not the usual Cloud9 I feel like we're normally seeing, so props to Cloud9. Of course, this was a big one for them. And then you go into the overall group standings, and these are some more teams unfortunately going home, and then some others going to be joining in the final round. So Elevate was able to win, Disguised in 2nd place, Cloud9 in 3rd place, Trip Gaming in 4th place, Legends Gaming in 5th place, SSG in 6th. TSM was able to clutch up after a lot of fans were worried. I mean, I was sitting there in that live chat on YouTube, and I can tell you firsthand, those fans were freaking out. They were worried and were watching every move TSM made to see if they would actually make it into the finals or not. Some people were even calling out that they were going to flake like Dark Zero did in the World Championship last year and not make finals. But that's not what TSM normally does. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of you guys made fair points. TSM is a team that normally does this. They don't outshine everyone in the group play. They don't outshine in the bracket play. They do solid, they do decent, they get by, they make it to finals, and then they show up on match points. So we'll see how they do obviously tomorrow, or actually today at watching this video. And then LG was another one. Not only did they just barely get by with 1 point earlier on in the day, then they also have a pretty big struggle here at some point in the loser bracket. We thought they might not make it. Thankfully, things worked out for them. And going into that last game, they had a very big last game. At one point, they were like 10th place, 11th place. They really needed a good game to solidify this ending, and they did exactly that. So Really good job out of LG. And honestly, what is the finals without Zero, How, Sweet, and you know, just all the goats of the scene as well. Now, unfortunately, there are some goats that will not be joining us here inside of this. So Omit and Alliance were the last two teams to get into the finals, and that one was a very close one. And I mean, 30 points here, then 28 for Crazy Raccoon. Crazy Raccoon would be going home as well. Then Furia also is going to be going home. Now, I know I've been saying a lot. You know, I've kind of played two sides of the coin. I actually said that Furia was going to flake. They were my team to watch out for, to be like a fraud watch. Then when I heard Vax was coming back, I'm like, okay, I think Furia is actually the real deal. I think Furia is going to fare pretty well. Obviously, they are going to be getting sent home, so not the case any longer. Navi also going to be getting sent home as well. Complexity getting sent home. Made in Heaven, Heroes, WMNDY, Geared Gaming, Wonton Dumpling, and Red Rams are all going home. So that means that our final is the following. You've got Fnatic, you've got Reject Winity, you've got Serenity. Now, listen to this. If you're first time watching this, you might be confused. Let's talk about how this format works. So you do have advanced starting points. So if you're coming out of the winners bracket round 1, so Fnatic, Reject Winity, and so on, you actually get placement points based on where you placed inside of this top 10. So final round going in, Fnatic's going to start off with 10 points off the rip, right? And then you've got Reject Winity with 9. It goes down by 1 point all the way to 10th. So Serenity in 3rd, Dark Zero in 4th, 2 Rats 1 Controller in 5th, Liquid Alienware in 6th, Aurora in 7th with 4 points, Not Moist in 8th with 3 points, Virtus Pro in 9th with 2 points, and then 07 in 10th with 1 point. Then you go down to the loser bracket teams that made it in, and they're going to be starting all off at 0 points. So Elevate, Disguise, Cloud9, Kindertrip Gaming, Legends Gaming, SSG, TSM, LG, Omit, and Alliance. And if you're wondering like why this happens, think of it like a traditional bracket, right? When you do like a best of 5 or a double elimination or whatever the case may be, you're going to have that loser bracket team have to beat the winner bracket team twice in order to make it, you know, even, or in order to make it fair. So that's their way of doing this match point format. I like this idea. And so, of course, this is going to put TSM and your favorite teams like LG and co at a disadvantage. But if you're a North American Dark Zero fan, of course, they're going to start off with a pretty nice advantage at 7 points to start off with. But APAC, honestly, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I wanted APAC North to win. I think I even tweeted out a couple of weeks, maybe months ago, that I wanted APAC North to win, specifically Fnatic, and Fnatic is looking very, very strong. Now, I was not really expecting Reject Winity to show up this strong as well. I knew they were solid, but they're kind of outshining a lot of expectations here as well. So as we go into this, once again, this is not going to be 6 games. It's not going to be 8 games. It's going to be match points. So whenever you hit that 50-point threshold, then you're going to enable yourself into match point, and then if you can win a following game, you will win the entire tournament. So very interested to see how this one plays out. Of course, let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. Very unfortunate, sad news coming for teams like Furia, for teams like Complexity and Navi and Crazy Raccoon and many others as well. And then even those that got sent home earlier on in the day, Oxygen Esports. I just wasn't expecting some of these. Riddle Order, TYK, Boogie Borders. Sadly, those guys will be going home, like I said, but you do have some big stories to follow up with as well. Some underdog stories, if you will. By the way, there's only a couple of teams in this that are not signed. 2 Rats, 1 Controller, and then you've got 07. I'm so shocked 07 is not signed at this point. And then you've also got, honestly, that's it. Omit just not showing a profile picture here, but you've got a lot of teams that really need to be signed at this point, and hopefully we get to that point pretty soon. These guys deserve it, and best of luck to them in the finals today. Let me know who you're rooting for down below, and until the next time, we will see you all later, Gators.